had a wonderful period between 2004 2008, but 2009 saw the initial circumstances that led to this unfortunate situation that they're in at the moment. Mm-hmm. They did interact very strongly with the IMF at the end of last year, and they've agreed on a whole series of actions that they are in fact taking. For example, they're taking external tax advice, external debt advice, external reserves management advice. Mm-hmm. They remain in a very difficult position, and it remains to be seen whether this $4 billion bond is attractive or not to the potential buyers.
Do you see that bond successfully coming to the fore? Because we have had many say that this position that it's currently in could well hamper the plans for that $4 billion bond.
I think we need to watch this space. Mm-hmm. We need also to remember that with previous debt bond issues, some of the usual takers opted not to take. We're talking about private banks in Angola and their head offices in places like Portugal and other places. So we'll be watching that very carefully. The last time round, even political pressure was applied to banks to buy into the bonds.
Okay, well, that is going to be then an interesting space to watch. We've heard the Fitch ratings agency come out and say that the debt levels won't affect its B+ rating on Angola. So what are some of the support factors at this stage that are hard to ignore when it comes to Angola's economy and playing a role to offset some of that negative?
One of the problems last year, of course, was the steep decline in oil price. Mm-hmm. Well, that has changed significantly, and the Angolan reserves are improving at the moment. So that's looking good. One of the huge problems that led to their problems previously was the imprudent financial and economic management. Well, the effort that has been put in over the last 12 months to improve that situation is quite remarkable. Mm-hmm. And I think that the observers will probably respond quite well to that.
Well, as an oil producer, a member of OPEC specifically, its standing in that capacity can certainly not be overlooked. We've had Angola currently producing close enough to 1.8 million barrels per day of oil. We've heard that the country could increase that to 2 million barrels per day. Are you optimistic about their ability to increase their production capacity there?
There's no question about that. We still see lots and lots of reports of more and more oil being discovered. So that's a real positive.
That having been said, moving beyond that 2 million barrels per day seems very unlikely at this stage, with the country happy, as are other OPEC members, of that oil price sitting between $70 and $80 a barrel. And with that, the government is not expected to issue new licenses for offshore exploration this year. What do you make of that decision?
Yeah, I think it was a wise decision not to proceed with the bidding round that was suspended a while ago, and which continues to be suspended. And you know, whenever you initiate a bidding round, that implies expenditure, because people have to start spending money on the exploration and production and so on. So maybe that's a wise move. Well,
what kind of investment climate then is being anticipated in terms of investment that we could see coming into the country with, with new licenses or bidding for new licenses being put on hold within the oil space specifically? Are we looking at a focus more on other sectors of the economy?
Angolan policy is very much the policy that stresses the development of diversity in the economy. Mm-hmm. At the moment, it's really oil and gas and diamonds and very little else. But diversity in the economy, yes, lots of manufacturing, lots of industrial activity is developing. And if the investors are prepared to take a medium to long-term view of Angola, that's probably what will result in any movement into Angola of FDI.
Well, of course, to be highlighted is that medium to longer term view, simply because one would assume with the amount of money that government is owing foreign companies, some of these foreign companies and foreign investment hubs would be a bit hesitant to actually do business in the country. What do you see being Angola's draw card right now when it comes to doing business in Angola?
Probably the most interesting one for us at the Chamber is that the mining code will probably be passed this year and enacted. The moment that happens, then the medium-sized and senior mining houses will look very seriously at Angola, which has plenty of opportunities. And that'll bring in a lot of foreign direct investment with all the activity that surrounds any mining investment.